Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Smart Money Sundays. I hope you're doing very well and are excited for another week of trading. Now, for the sake of full transparency, obviously the last few weeks in trading the lower time frames, especially on dollar pairs, has been very, very tricky. All right, a lot of the lower time frame structure is not being respected. All right, and so I thought for this video we would simply step back and do more so a little bit of a higher time frame picture. Obviously here I have EURUSD on the weekly time frame. All right, and so on the weekly, quite clearly you can see our range from 2015, 2016, 2017, the run on the lows of the range, the expansionary move creating that high, and then obviously the retracement down and creating a higher low. Okay, and so with that, my expectation has always been now that we had run the lows of the range and then broken structure, creating a new high, and then creating a subsequent higher low, that ultimately this would be the draw on liquidity, and this is where price would be magnetized to. All right, so I still believe that we will be drawn to this area of price, kind of 1.2550. Obviously, we're just kind of in a pullback phase, higher time frame, before we get that ultimate move, which is my expectation to the upside. All right, and so as you know, if you've been following this series for quite some time, I was calling out this level. All right, 1.1500. Even when price was trading up in here, I was looking at this as where we would need to trade into in order to finally get that move higher. And obviously this is where that kind of COVID sell-off started. All right, and so we did finally meet this objective. All right, and this is the beauty of having that higher time frame analysis. As you know, we've been calling this for months and months, getting down into these levels before we can start looking for that rally again to the upside. All right, so we're now finally trading down into discount, and obviously 1.15, 1.1450 are very, very key levels on EURUSD historically. Okay, and so we're trading down into that, and really I'm looking for price this week to have a slight further push down. All right, one last kind of little push down, and then we can look for some type of accumulation, but really trading into this reaccumulation that happened June 2020. All right, as you can see, this reaccumulation traded into supply, all right, and then broke through the supply. So this has become our new demand, where our reaccumulation occurred to push price higher into new highs. All right, so we've now experienced our rebalancing act coming down right back down into that region of accumulation here around 1.1450, 1.1400. And so, like I said, we're expecting a little bit more of a push down, and then I'd like to see a nice accumulation begin to happen on the 4-hour, 1-hour time frames, and then look for obviously the break of structure, and looking to get this potential massive swing to the upside on EURUSD. Okay, so that is just the macro kind of perspective on EU. Obviously there's nothing really at the moment in terms of a pertinent setup, but just giving you this heads up that we're coming into some nice territory here on EU. You could even refine to this kind of inefficiency as well. 1.13716, and start looking for that kind of reversal patterns to start to form. Okay, so kind of excited about this on EU. I think ultimately, fundamentally, the US dollar is just going to continue to weaken over the long term, and so this would obviously support our narrative of dollar weakness, which would mean EURUSD upside. Okay, so we're coming into these nice territories on the dollar. Okay, in terms of AUDUSD, now obviously weekly time frame, I called this level out a while ago, trading into this weekly down close candlestick. We got the nice reaction, hopped down to the lower time frames. Obviously, we've got our nice now higher high, higher low, higher high, so back to bullish on the daily time frame. You would naturally then expect obviously another higher low to kind of complete this ascending channel. Okay, and so one higher low, one drive, two drive, looking for a third drive again, coming down into discount. Okay, and then simply scaling into this down close candle on the daily time frame gives us some nice levels on the lower time frames, 4 hour, 3 hour. As you can see, this is our cluster of candles that ran out liquidity, traded into prior demand here. All right, so I'm liking this level on AU and would also support our narrative on EU of one more run to the downside. Okay, and so you could look to potentially sell this thing one more time down into our higher time frame region in here, and then start to look for that accumulation. All right, then the break of structure and continuation. All right, for then another massive higher time frame leg. You could even clone this move and attach to get upside targets. Okay, and so, you know, again, looking for a move, one more leg down, maybe even trading up into this supply for one more move down, run on the lows, run on the previous week's low, accumulation, continuation, higher time frame. All right, so that is AU. Now GBPUSD, again, kind of the same deal. All right, and that's the beauty of these trading these pairs. Obviously, you can get some type of alignment on all of them that gives you more conviction. All right, but something to note is the fact that GU, actually I'll hop down first. You can quite clearly see the structure of the downtrend. And obviously this is our last lower low. We had some lower time frame equal lows here that have been run out. But what I want to point out with this downtrend is that on the weekly time frame, on Friday we failed to actually close below this low. Okay, we failed to close. We traded through it, pulled back up, closed just slightly above it. Okay, and that can give us some type of indication. Obviously trading into this wick here. I'm sure there's something on lower time frames. All right, and so again, for this week, what I would naturally expect, personally, just intuition wise, would be a run on the previous week's low. Again, following suit with the other pairs we've just talked about, run the previous week's low, accumulate, and look for that pop up, okay, on GBPUSD. Okay, so again, nothing really kind of pertinent at the moment. You know, we could even see it trade into something like this. You could see that, and then the run, then the accumulation, and then the rally up. Okay, so really, again, this is just kind of a top-down, higher time frame perspective that I want to give to you guys this week, as we are finally starting to trade into some levels coming into the end of the quarter. All right, so that is GU, and the last one I kind of want to mention is one that we're in, Euro GBP, just a lower time frame kind of perspective on this one. Lower time frame, obviously lower low, lower high, lower low. We're in the sells at the moment, looking to trade this thing down into demand. As you can see, higher time frame, higher highs and higher lows. So looking for this thing to come down into demand here, really 8480, and then looking for the accumulation and then a push up. Okay, would make the most sense to us. All right. So make sure you mark this level off on your charts, and be sure to follow what price is doing, how it's responding on the lower time frames. All right, so these are the levels for this week. I hope you enjoyed this brief episode and kind of motivates you to step back as the lower time frames have been quite tricky and quite frustrating. It's probably been the worst few weeks of trading in a long time for me and for us. And so it's good to step back and look from the higher time frame perspective, because when you're in doubt, the best thing to do is zoom out. All right, so let's have a great week. Let's be patient. Let's let the good setups come to us. If you're interested in joining the community, please message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading, and we'd be happy to get you involved. All right, have a great week. Thank you.